This is a Ramping Up Your English book review. If you've taken an interest in the theme of trains and railroads, you can grow that interest with Trains magazine. This is for the serious rail fan or just anyone who loves trains. Each issue has a main theme, this one about Western steam engines clearing the tracks of snow and ice. Since the featured events were for photographers, there are incredible pictures in this special winter and holiday issue. This issue also features Union Station in Kansas City, a beautifully remodeled historic train station served by Amtrak Southwest Chief during its nighttime run between Chicago and Los Angeles. Trains magazine is also a good source of finding railroad museums closest to your home. If you want to know more, visit their website. I found my copy at a newsstand and I just couldn't resist buying it. This has been a Ramping Up Your English book review. I'm John Letts. Welcome back to Ramping Up Your English. This is segment 3 of episode 26. Our trip across the United States aboard the California Zephyr was a great one, but it's not the only way to get by rail from Chicago to the West Coast. When Liz and I reached Chicago aboard Amtrak's Cardinal, we headed for the coast aboard the Southwest Chief. Let's climb aboard this legendary train rescued from the Santa Fe Railroad. The Great Southwest, high deserts, cliff dwellings, the scene of countless cowboy movies, as different from the East as the moon. That's where Amtrak Southwest Chief will take you. That's where it took me and my wife Liz after a 24-hour train ride from Washington, D.C. The Southwest Chief begins its westward journey in the underworld of Union Station in Chicago. There we go. Our mid-afternoon departure meant we would encounter many local and regional commuter trains. We're leaving Chicago on the same rails on which we'd arrived a week earlier. Looking back, we got a great view of Sears Tower. Keeping that cityscape in sight was a challenge.
Gonna get that, barely.
All right, I got a good snapshot of it.
Some of our best views came later as we played hide and seek with Chicago's impressive skyline. This is definitely urban living, but these neighborhoods look clean and safe.
This is leaving Chicago on the Southwest Chief, a very different neighborhood than you saw with the Cardinal.
But if you listen to music while watching that movie, the person sat next to you, across from you, or behind you cannot listen to what you're listening to. Just be a little courteous, please. It's everything. Shoes, as soon as you stand up, put your shoes on. It's a must when walking around the train. We don't need to lose your toes in between the cars there. Bathrooms you can find on the lower levels of each car, except for the dining car, and no exits from the cafe or the dining car. You have to return to where you first boarded. Ladies and gentlemen in the coaches, absolutely no personal alcohol is allowed in the coaches. Should you have any out, please stash it to the left. Amtrak does have a liquor license. Should you like a drink, you can purchase one for myself downstairs in the cafe. Warm your personal food in the microwave or store any personal food in the refrigerators. These rules are regulated by the FDA. Once again, cafes open and serving. Welcome aboard, everybody.
looks like a circular medieval
Isn't that
castle.
something?
It was hard to tell just where we left Chicago's city limits and started rolling through the suburbs. There's a certain charm to these little towns, strung out all along the railroad tracks. Chicago is a major passenger rail hub, running trains to numerous eastern and midwestern cities, and sending trains like ours, the Southwest Chief, to the West Coast. These suburban towns lie in the same track that hosts the California Zephyr. The Southwest Chief uses the same tracks as far as Carbondale. Chicagoland seemed to have come to an abrupt end. We suddenly found ourselves in the country, seeing farms instead of houses, and barns instead of factories. I'm always struck by the sheer volume of land in the United States that's still rural, still a world away from the crowds and bustle of the city. Taking Amtrak reminds me of the happy fact that there's still more countryside than anything else. So now we left Chicago behind and we're rumbling toward the land of enchantment. Welcome back to Ramping Up Your English. The Southwest Chief was named for the Santa Fe Super Chief. It was one of the first to feature a two-story car, an innovation of the Santa Fe Railroad. Today, Amtrak features this equipment on all its long-distance trains. They're called Superliners, and they offer great views of the western landscape, as you'll see in the next three parts of the Southwest Chief Westbound. I want to thank my volunteer crew, my announcer Bob Ayers, RVTV, and I want to thank you, our viewers. See you next time on Ramping Up Your English. I'm John Letts.
You've been watching Ramping Up Your English, a support program for intermediate level English language learners. Learn more. Visit our website at letscreate.org. You can also watch or download today's program at archive.org/details/roadtv. Join us next time on RVTV Voices for Ramping Up Your English.